Sometimes you have long scoops and news articles and you have to break down all the information that's happened with the current leak when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And sometimes it's one tweet. Welcome to the Chaos Multiverse, everybody. One tweet can create absolute waves, especially when it comes from an inside source that usually hits things straight on the head and knows things way before other so-called insiders. We're going to talk about it today, and yes, we're talking about RDJ and Iron Man, and this is going to be insane if it ends up being true. Welcome to the Chaos Multiverse, everybody. Thank you for all the love. Happy New Year if you're watching this in 2023. Thank you for all the support on the channel. 2023, we have a goal of 100,000 subs on the Chaos Multiverse. So, hope you guys come along for the ride, and I hope you have an amazing 2023. I hope it brings you wealth, happiness, all that good stuff. I hope it's just awesome for everybody. Now, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. Right? I am Iron Man. Probably went out in the best form and fashion he could have. I think the wrap-up stories for him and Chris Evans' Captain America were almost perfect. I really enjoyed them. I love the fact that we actually had the MCU show some, I don't know what the word is, some closure and no real big loopholes. But then we got the multiverse. And then people started speculating. And then people said, well, what happens if we get a variant back? Does that taint the legacy of it or anything? Now we know that that is happening in multiple fashions. One of the biggest confirmed is Hugh Jackman coming back to play Wolverine in Deadpool 3. But he's going to be playing a version, or he's going to be playing the version or a version, I don't know. But it'll be before Logan. So it's not going to mess with his grand exit as well. So it does seem that Marvel is very aware of legacy when it comes to these legacy characters and how the community would have a huge backlash if you brought them back in the wrong capacity. With that being said, one tweet, my friends, and I'm going to explain to you how this is probably going to happen. My time to shine hello on Twitter. RDJ is back, baby. For Secret Wars for sure, and there's been some talks for a cameo in Armor Wars. If my time to shine hello tweets it, I mean, I'm going to just say there's an 80, 85, 90% chance it could happen. Now, I'll say this. Things can change on the back end after a leak is put out, but I have no reason to think that this account's sources aren't credible. Now, if something changes in the future, well, they can't control that, right? But as of right now, this is the information they've gotten, and they say that Robert Downey Jr. will reprise his role as Iron Man in Secret Wars and maybe a cameo in Armor Wars. Now, let's talk about this really quick and how they can do this with class. Okay, you can't bring Robert Downey Jr., Earth 616 Iron Man back in Secret Wars. You can't. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you have Doctor Strange bring him back to life. I don't care if he's a zombie. I don't care. You can't do it because that ruins the legacy of the entire Infinity Saga, right? We all agree on that. We can shake our heads yes. So how do you do this and make it okay with the community and actually get everybody excited in a positive manner? Well, it's pretty easy. For Secret Wars, you just bring a variant of Iron Man, and that variant can be Robert Downey Jr. We've already seen in the MCU that there's variants that look the same, and then there's variants that look completely different. So it's no shocker if you get a variant of Robert Downey Jr. that looks like him, played by RDJ, and it's a variant of Iron Man that comes to help in Secret Wars. A lot of people are pushing for Superior Iron Man. There were so many leaks and rumors that, who was it? Tom Cruise was going to play Superior Iron Man in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, that didn't happen, but we could see Robert Downey Jr. reprise the role and play a variant of Iron Man, and Superior Iron Man would be an awesome take to actually see on the big screen. So that's how they do it. It's pretty easy. You've got the multiverse, you've got timelines, you've got variants. They're already doing it with Deadpool 3. No worries there. People are happy. It's not going to mess with the legacy. You don't mess with his legacy. You just bring a variant in, and there's so many different variants you could do. I think Superior Iron Man's probably at the top of the list. So there. That problem is solved. We get RDJ back on the big screen. He actually gets to be at the culmination of 2 decade-long sagas. I take that back. The multiverse saga is not going to be a decade long, but he gets to be at the end of both sagas, which is honestly pretty cool. We'll talk about Chris Evans another day because there's multiple ways for them to bring him back as variants and other characters as well. Now, really quick, let's talk about the cameo in Armor Wars. I think the only way you do this, because you don't really want to take the shine away from War Machine in that, right? It's about him. It's about Tony Stark's legacy. So you don't really want him to come back as a cameo in the current timeline. He doesn't need to be in Armor Wars in the regular timeline at all. I think that's a huge mistake, and it kind of takes away the luster of bringing him back in Secret Wars, which would be a huge moment on the big screen. The only way you bring him back as a cameo in Armor Wars is simple. It's a flashback. It's an authentic flashback for Rhodes. That's it. That's the only way you could do it. I think people would be okay with that. It needs to be quick flashbacks. It doesn't need to be him prominently 20-30% on the screen at all, because it's going to take away from Armor Wars, and it's going to ruin that major cameo if he does end up in Secret Wars. So there you go. It's looking good. RDJ is probably coming back to the MCU, and if you're a true fan, you're probably excited like I am. I mean, you probably really are. They just have to do it the right way. I'll see you guys soon.